Half-Shell Oyster House March features are here. Savor this season's features with our bacon-wrapped scallops and Parmesan-encrusted pompano. Settle in at the bar and catch all the March madness while snacking on our seasoned and seared scallops wrapped in bacon and garnished with raspberry chipotle jam. For the main show, have our pompano coated in a seasoned Parmesan and Peco breading, then panade golden. Topped with royal red shrimp and garnished with citrus beurre blanc. If you manage to save room for dessert, try our red velvet cheesecake at Half-Shell Oyster House, located at 115 Laurel Park Cove, Suite 105, Flowood, Mississippi 39232. Or you can give us a call at 769-257-7586. And oh yeah, tell them Sonia sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia and welcome back to She Say Sports. Today is a very special day because we've added a new segment and it's called Legends of the Sipp, and because it was so special in our first guest, we had to do it in person. So I won't be hosting this alone. It'll be along with Brian Wanky Adams and also Sports Writer of the Year, Rod Walker of New Orleans Advocate, but he's not with us today. But our special guest today is none other than a Mississippi legend and a basketball legend, period. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Hey, Mahmoud, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I am doing well. I know your voice is gone because what's been going on today. So the guys are in town today because Legends of the Sipp camp is here. Is that correct, Wank? And this
correct.
is your... Tell us about the camp.
It's our first camp, and we're here to give back to the next generation of basketball players, female and males. And we talked about it yesterday. We've done a lot of great things away from Mississippi, and he brought the idea up and said, "Hey man, it's time to go back home and put some special together for the young ladies and the guys in the state of Mississippi." And then he also asked to go and get some of the other legendary basketball players that have come out of this state. So man, today, just to see him and Lindsey Hunter and James Hollywood Robinson in the same gym at the same time.
That was awesome.
Hugging.
Yeah, hugging.
And not going at each other.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, 3 first-round draft picks.
Wow.
In consecutive
From Mississippi.
Years. Yes. So it gives the next generation something to look forward to, and it also tells you that, man, I can do that. I can make it too.
So will this be one of many? Will this be an annual thing?
Oh, this is annual.
I love it.
This is annual.
I love it. So when you talk to him about bringing it home, what inspired you to say, let's bring this back home?
I love people, and I love giving back. And there's a saying: if you want to find yourself, lose yourself in the service of others. And so we're always just trying to find opportunities to where we can benefit people. And as he said before, when you get to that next level, you're running around so much. You the season and then the off season. And even though you come home periodically, you're not home enough.
That's right.
And so we said, we need to go back and start really trying to make a difference. And as well, bridging the gap between those who played years ago and like the Monte Ellis's and the newer generation, and let them see those relationships and give them something, man, that they said, look, man, this is very possible. Because a lot of us, we're not 6'9". I mean, other than him, right?
Yeah.
We're small. So sometimes there's this idea that, man, you have to be 6'5" or 6'6", but look, we weren't real big people and we made it. And just not just basketball, but it's always bigger than basketball. The things that you learn in sports, I know it's cliche, but it's so true that the discipline, the sacrifice, the networking, the communication, the time management, et cetera, you're going to need these qualities in everything you do, your relationships, your business. So that's why it's important.
That's awesome. So, you mentioned, the Monte Ellises, and he was supposed to be with us today, but could not make it. And the newer generation, Wank, when we first started talking last year, when you did the show last year, and I was telling him about you. You don't know this, but you're a couple of years older than me, and I used to come to the Metro Center, remember Coliseum? Y'all were playing at the Coliseum, and I was like, girl, at that time he was Chris Jackson, like, they're Chris Jackson. Oh my God, I'm finna say something to him. And he would walk by me and I would turn my head, because I was scared. But because I had never seen anyone handle a ball like that young, and I was amazed, and I was like, I'm telling you, so, and he was like, how was it? And it was weird for him to ask me that, because I'm like, dang, I'm kind of like an old head now. But I saw it. I witnessed him in high school. I saw it. And it was just, you all saw it at LSU and, in the NBA. And it was just amazing to see it. So do the kids, do they realize you that dude? Do they understand who you are?
I don't think so.
So they don't know you was Steph Curry before Steph Curry?
I don't think in its fullness, no. but I think a lot of the parents, they try to do their best in conveying it to them and say, look, I'm going to have to show you on YouTube. I'm going to have to pull up information.
Right.
And it's nice that I'm still able to move a little bit so they can see, Team 53 moving like this. I can only imagine.
Exactly. Yeah. So, lost my train of thought when he came over the door. Yeah. What was I about to say?
You're talking about, do they know that you're that dude?
Oh, so yeah. So I mentioned there's a comparison of you and Steph Curry. How do you feel about that comparison, and who wins in the 1-on-1?
Well, to answer the second question first. I know he's younger, but I still have something left.
Oh, yeah.
1-on-1 is a little different than playing in 5-on-5. I'm not going to say who's going to win, but I wouldn't back down if the opportunity came. To
That's
see
good.
It. Yeah, because I'm a competitor still.
Absolutely.
The first question, what did you say?
How
the comparisons? You know what? There's always going to be some comparisons. I don't take offense to it. Actually, every time I hear something like that, I'm like enormously humbled by it.
Yeah.
Super grateful that people would even think to mention me in the breath of those guys. So that's the way I take it, because he's a phenomenal player, and so just to be mentioned, I'm truly humbled by it.
You're that dude. Sorry. I'm looking at him like, what? But and that's cute, but you're that dude. Sorry. So before we go any further, you guys are at Walter Payton. You guys are at Walter Payton at Jackson State, my alma mater. Wanky went to Alcorn, whatever.
Yeah.
And our girl basketball, our Lady Tigers, just won back-to-back SWAC championships in the tournament, and we're gonna play your team, number 3 LSU, on Saturday.
Really?
Yes.
I hope y'all win.
Well, thank you. Well, you didn't know, because I was gonna ask you, and LSU, they're the girls team, they're rebuilding, so there's a possibility. Now we played Baylor last year. They ate us up.
Yeah.
Bad.
Right.
However, I really think we have a chance. What do you think? Have you been keeping up?
I think it's a winnable game because of Misha Williams. She's a WNBA prospect, and she's going to be a problem. And I think she can get up and down the court a little bit quicker than maybe the bigs that LSU have. Yeah. Now, the key is going to be the guard play. And one of the young ladies that's at LSU right now, Alexis Morris, her parents is from Natchez. And that's the young lady, that I was telling you about. And she's a pro. Yeah. But I think the game that thing can go either way.
It's winnable, I think. Yeah. And then if we lose, it won't be like a huge margin. I'm thinking 10, 15 points.
Yeah, because this time of year is win or go home. But when you get those, any matchup outside of 116 is winnable. 2-15, 3-14, 10-7. Those games are, 5-12. Those games are winnable games.
Right. Cool. Well, you heard it. Mahmoud said he hopes we win. So, Coach Tamika Reed, let's do this thing. Let's go on and get it. And Dion's daughter is coming. She's committed to JSU.
Basketball
so all his 3 kids are here now.
Oh, wow.
2 play for the football, and now his daughter, she's coming. So, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
So, speaking of college, when you went to LSU, you won, I think, Freshman of the Year. You scored 56 points against Ole Miss your freshman year. That's bananas.
55.
Excuse me. Okay.
I love to take that extra.
Wikipedia said 56. Somebody gave you 1 point.
Yeah.
So, and then, they retired your jersey in 2020. Yes. What an honor and well-deserved. What does that honor mean to you? I'm just shoot from the hip.
Oh, don't worry.
Shoot from the hip.
Yeah, even when I'm diplomatic, it's gonna be straight.
And I love it.
But when it was first presented to me, there was a young lady by the name of Katrina Dunn, LSU alumni. And she came to me. She said, "Mahmoud, how would you feel if I started pushing for them to retire your jersey, because that's something that should have been done. It's actually, it's sad that they haven't. They've taken this
all those
time.
years.
And I'm gonna just tell you exactly what I told her. I said, listen, if that's something you want to do, I'm not gonna tell you no. I said, but if you're asking me, I have two positions on it. I said, one, part of me, I really don't care. I said, because that's not, retiring my jersey is not something I can take with me on the day of judgment and say, God, I averaged 30.2 points a game. My jersey retires. Let me go to paradise.
Can I get in?
Right. I said, number two, I said, the reason I would like for it to go up has less to do with all of that. It's more to do with, you don't know what young person may look up at that banner and look at that name and go do some research. And there's something in my life, even if it's something minute, that could have them to have a different perspective on life and that can change their course for the better. It can benefit them. I said, that's why, and because for so many of us, our histories oftentimes, especially when we take controversial decisions in their eyes, our histories are erased. And so I said, for that reason, if somebody can benefit from that, I want it done. So she started, along with Dale Brown, start pushing for it. And there was a lot of people that didn't want it to happen, but I guess the force was too strong that they had to give in and ended up retiring. And so with all that said, I'm humbled, I'm grateful that people saw fit to want to fight for me to get it retired.
Absolutely.
Right. And I was gonna say, man, I felt like I was getting my jersey retired that day. And I'm gonna tell you why. Mahmoud and I, we've built a relationship over the last few years through his best friend, right? And it's been authentic and it's been genuine. When I was a kid, growing up in Macomb, Mississippi, getting in that, my cousin packed me and my other cousin up, drives to New Orleans, Louisiana, to watch him play.
Wow.
And I ain't know nothing about him, because everything I knew was just Georgetown and all these other schools, because I didn't think anybody from Mississippi could be like this, right?
That's true.
So my first college game was LSU Georgetown, 60-some thousand people. And I'm reading the program, and I'm seeing two guys on the roster from Mississippi. And I'm like, Vernell Singleton.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, man, somebody from Mississippi can make it, play on TV. I go back to my front yard. I'm playing shadow basketball against myself. But that day made me take my game to another level. And I didn't even know him then. And then fast forward nearly 30 years later, here I am getting an invitation to his jersey retirement. That just, I'm like a kid in a candy store. You know what I'm saying? How things, whatever God has for you, ain't nothing anybody else can do about it. You know what I'm saying? I was there when they raised the banner, to retire his jersey.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome. So, fast forward, you are now playing in the Big 3 League.
Yes.
And it's a 3-on-3 pro basketball league. Started out by Ice Cube and Jeff. What's Jeff's last name? Jeff K. We're gonna say Jeff K because I can't pronounce it right now. But it features all stars, Hall of Famers, and world champions. And how did you get involved with the Big 3?
Actually, the first person that approached me was a guy named Keeby Dixon.
Okay.
Yeah, and at the time, I just wasn't interested because you hear about so many of these leagues popping up and it not panning out. And so, but it was still in its, beginning stages. And then another guy came to me at a different time named CJ, real close to me, Chauncey. And at that time, I'm like, okay. He said, man, it's going to be big, X, Y, and Z. They want you to come out and try out. And I said, well, find out more about it. So he went. I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And that's how it all started. And I went to the first combine, and I was just in immaculate shape. I think everybody was shocked and did well. Wasn't really supposed to be on the team, even though I played well at the combine.
Why?
Because a lot of, there's politics and everything. Everything, relationships.
Get over it, people.
And they ended up picking someone, and right before they was getting ready to call his name, CJ was in the group. He said, hey, man, why are you picking him? He said, man, you need another guard. What happened to Jason Williams go down? He said, man, you're right. Well, who? I said, man, Mahmoud. And he's like, oh, you right about that. And they right before the guy was getting ready to say the three-headed monster's pick, he said, hold up. And that's the only reason I got picked.
Wow. That's
and
favor.
And then it ended up being I had 2 great years because they were forced to play me and didn't want to play me. And it just ended up working out, and I've been with them ever since.
And in 2019, you were a prolific scorer for the team, and watching you play is such a treat.
No, I appreciate that.
But I have to know, is basketball still your first love?
No.
It's not.
No. My first love is my religion. Then it's my family.
Okay.
But basketball is definitely high. I still love it.
I know.
And I mean, I'm competitive. I'm still like growing. I still look at stuff and I'm like, man, I'm always trying to figure out how can I tweak that?
Even now, you're still growing.
How can I make it better?
Wow.
How can I tweak it? I'm in my house still.
Right.
Going through, acting like I'm my children are so used to it now. That's just what he does. He's been doing that for years. And I tell him this is how I stay fresh.
That's amazing.
And so, but also because it's always bigger than basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be in a position. I'm trying to stay in shape as long as I can, because I know that's a selling point too. When you're with these children and you're able to show them, right, they listen better, and then you can tap into other areas in their life.
Right.
You know, their family, relationships, and that's for me. That's huge because basketball is just a small portion.
It's a small portion.
You know, if we're lucky, you're fortunate you might play 15 years, but the average is 3 years. That's why the pension is, if you can go 3 years in the NBA, you get your pension, because most people don't make 3 years.
Wow.
And so you definitely want to be able to prepare for later.
Interesting. Anything else?
Now, you know, you got the Big 3, and also, you know, you train elite level basketball players from, you know, what we have here at the camp all the way to NBA players. What's your thoughts about training and the preparation that kids must have now, you know, in order to succeed in this game?
Man, we don't have enough time on this podcast. But to try to sum it up, and we think a lot alike, it's a process. You know, there's a book called Chop Wood, Carry Water, Falling in Love with the Process of Becoming Great. We live in a society where, you know, we want fast results, fast food, fast information, and we don't understand that, you know, to be great at something, yeah, it takes a lot of hard work, it takes consistency, it takes patience. Nothing happens overnight, and it's about doing things over and over and over again, trying to get, since we're talking about basketball, trying to get more explosive, more balanced, more persistent, And so it's just instilling, for me, training, man, is, and then there's levels. There's always levels. If you're trying to be great, and I say this a lot, that, and I say this to my NBA guys, my college guys, my high school guys, and we talk about it a lot. We don't know any other way to train you except to be a pro.
That's it.
And I tell them, if you're trying to be great and you're not flirting with death and contemplate quitting every day, you're not working hard enough. And so trying to get them to, and then think outside the box, not be like a robot. The more versatile you are, the more valuable you are. And so trying new ways to, because everybody has a pattern, and so make unpredictability your pattern.
Gotcha.
You're harder to mess with. And so that's just a few things, that I'm constantly, talking about when I'm training. So and some people buy into it, and some people, unfortunately, just won't get it.
Right. And the one thing that I like about your approach to the training, like right now, I've even, kind of stopped doing it. Everybody want to post their videos of the training and what they're doing. But with him, it just seemed like it's so authentic. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen any trainer do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's on another level. Like somebody made a we was joking around, and they was like, man, when you in the gym with him, he Bruce Lee, I'm Jet Li. I said, man, when I'm in the gym with him, I ain't no Lee. But
no, he's being humble. He's being humble.
But that's what I like about it, man, because it's not about the show. I'm trying to get all these followers. People know who you are. There's no need for him to post his workout videos and things of that nature. Word or travel.
It travels.
NBA, high school, college, even when we was in Dallas doing the camp, a lot of those high school kids was like, man, how he faster than me right now?
They were amazed.
Right now.
and speaking of that camp, I met you last August. I drove from here. I stayed less than 24 hours just to come and meet you.
Oh, wow.
Because, we knew we were going to do this segment.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to meet him. And, so, and when I saw, I was like, this dude still got it. How the heck is he 51 years old and he's still doing this? It's crazy.
I can answer that. And I'm bragging on him. I tell people, even like when we was working out, I say, hey, that's a prime example of his faith, no alcohol, no drugs.
And it makes a difference.
And you can continue to do the exceptional things that he's done, and he will continue to do.
And keep doing something every day.
Right.
Keep doing it every day. But one thing on that training that we talk about a lot, though, even though we don't post it, we do still get mad when we see a lot of people posting stuff and they getting all this notoriety. And then when we look at it, we like, not for the notoriety so much, but we're like, man, no offense, we just being real.
Right.
And y'all ain't, we see so many flaws in what we're looking at. Man, the dude traveled. Y'all ain't catch that? The dude did this. And that upsets us because we know people are attracted to all of those followers.
Right.
And so if this dude got 1 million followers, and they're going
surely
to go
he knows
to
what
it.
he's
They're
doing.
going to go to it, and they're going to
Absolutely.
learn from it. And I'm not saying everything that they do,
Right.
but there's a lot of stuff out there. I'm like, man, y'all missing so many steps. And that frustrates people. It's like you. If you a singer, right, and somebody out there and they getting, but you ain't, they ain't even hitting the notes. What are you doing?
It works my nerves.
It don't even sound good.
Right.
You ain't. It makes you, it upsets you. Right. So that's the way it is.
I agree. So, anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
Listen, I'll just say this though. Jackson, I love Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson has
We love
always
you.
been Jackson. I've been saying this for years. I don't care how many people in Gulfport get mad. I've always said Jackson showed me way more love than Gulfport, Mississippi. And because out here, when you come out here, it's like the Rutgers almost. If you perform in Jackson, because people know basketball, they know sports.
Yes.
If you come put on a show, they might not like the fact that you beat their team,
Yeah.
but they gonna give you their props. They're gonna
we
say,
know.
hey man,
It's
you
respect.
got, and that makes you want to come back
It's
and
respect.
keep doing it over and over again. And I'm talking about years.
Right.
I'm a witness.
Right. And one other thing we talked about earlier, how the Steph and the him comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Mahmoud and James Hollywood Robinson will be forever linked because of the shows that they put on in Jackson, Mississippi. Even though you was a senior, James was a junior. I mean, these guys going for 40 apiece. In front of. In high school. They said the crowd. James was saying yesterday the crowd was so big. Like you had to squeeze in between the crowd to get to the court.
I think he was embellishing. I don't know. He said, James, there was 18,000 outside the arena.
Right.
He is an embellisher. I saw James today. I was like, dude, I ain't seen you since Cancun 1998. We just hugged because I hadn't seen him personally in person.
Goodness. Wow.
We're Facebook friends. But before we go, I have a game I play called You Can Get With This or You Can Get With That. And what it is, he's played it before. And what it is, it's a way for the listeners and myself to get to know the guests better. I'll ask you a few questions. It's easy, I promise. And you just pick the one that best fits you.
Like, what do you mean? You can get with this or you can get...
I'm going to ask you a question and then, like, for instance, you prefer being underestimated or overestimated?
And then I'll answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Choose one.
Underestimated. You want to explain?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. How much time do we have? Okay.
Underestimated because already at my size, and I just love to, in a sense, disappoint people.
Yeah.
Like to see the reaction. Like I didn't expect that. But also being underestimated is less pressure.
Right.
I tell people all the time. I say when you post yourself. And when you're hyping yourself, I like to tell parents, don't hype your children up. Because now, the way the human mind works, a lot of times you say, oh man, my son, da-da-da. Now a person coming in, seeing what mistakes they're going to find. But if you downplay it, oh, he's okay. Now if he ends up, pop, 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 he's okay.
Yeah.
What are you
talking about?
Right.
So I'm always downplaying.
I like that. Yeah. Same here. Rich and famous or rich and unknown?
That's a good one. That can be an either or because of the way my mind works. I would. That's tough. Oh, why you do this to me? Because either one, I can go with either one.
Yeah, you can go with either one.
I'm gonna say famous.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say famous for this reason. When you're known, there's always a negative. People can come at you. All of that, and you're a target. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you have great intentions, the fact that you're known could be a benefit to where it could be a catalyst for doing a whole lot more for the world and the benefit.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Skill or popularity?
Skill.
Absolutely.
All day long. Yeah. Popularity can fade, but that skill gives you
like
longevity.
Now. He's the result of skill. Regina King or Regina Hall? Regina King, 227. That's Regina King.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
But I'm talking about from Regina King. She's a big actress.
Well, it ain't the. It's not the one with the voices on.
You never.
She plays the voices and stuff.
Regina King played in.
What's that? Boondocks.
Yeah.
Voices. That's Regina.
That's Regina King. And Regina Hall. She was in. What's the movie? They were all in New Orleans.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Oh, it's a movie. I can't think.
Well.
No, she was with Queen Latifah. They were on a girls trip. Girls trip. That's the name of it.
Well, since I don't know that one, I'm gonna go with Regina King.
Okay. I know we got.
And she's just very. I heard she's super.
She's dope.
Super talented.
Yeah, she's. Lasagna or pizza?
Pizza, because I think when I went to Italy, I think you can do a whole lot more with pizza than you can with lasagna.
Okay. And their pizza is probably different from ours?
Yeah, but from tuna to, there's so much you can,
okay.
There's so many different types of pizzas you can, so it's more variety.
Okay, two more. Pac or Biggie?
Pac. I like a lot of his mama, and there's some songs that and then his political side,
stance.
social political side, definitely.
Last but not least, my guy, Michael Jordan or LeBron.
Michael Jordan.
Okay. Well, guys.
And then you saying that didn't influence me.
I know.
Yeah.
He answered that one real fast.
Guys, that's the end of our show. Please follow us on She Say Sports. Wanky, do you?
Oh, I mean, I can be followed at Driven Elite Basketball Academy on Instagram for all our content, things of that nature.
Mahmoud, do you dibble and dabble in
Yeah,
social
I do.
media?
I'm at Mahmoud MahmoudAR123.
Okay. Well, that's our show for today. Until next time, this is Sonia with She Say Sports.